Belshire Vestige.
And here we go again. Kev spawning the top left-hand corner of Belshire Vestige. The blue Terran player, Axiom Ryung. And down in the bottom right.
For the football fans out there, rocking the Chelsea jersey. Never knew that Ryung was a Chelsea fan. A lot of these guys actually football fans. Yesterday I was checking them out a little bit at the mansion. Jaedong watching soccer videos from Manchester United. I was like, wow, look at these guys.
We were talking as a group about a fun activity we could do with the players. And the idea of taking them to play soccer or football was brought up, but our boss said, absolutely not, somebody's going to get hurt. And then I said we should just make them play bubble soccer.
I'm not sure if that's a better idea.
But he was even more mad at that suggestion. So
most of your ideas do get shut down.
That's true. You know, but I keep throwing them out there.
Yes.
Because on the off chance that one of them does get accepted. Down in the bottom right, Ryung's opponent, Evil Genius is Oz.
Well, the problem with most of your ideas has been that you're treating them like it's a bunch of like extreme sports activists out there. Like, all right, we're going off-road cross. Like, BMXing. Let's not do that. All right, let's take them with shooting range and start shooting guns. Like,
we're gonna go whitewater rafting.
Yes. It's like, man, what about just doing some computer activities? Let them play a fun free-for-all.
He's just Jaedong like floating away in his life jacket, going over a waterfall.
Now that would be quality content.
People would tune in for that. No, I don't know if Jaedong would be very happy.
Reaper in production for Ryung as he dropped the refinery very on. Still has 3 SCVs mining gas as well. So how are you going to follow this up, Ryung? I'm sending out that SCV right now. It's kind of a late moment to scout, but he's still going to get there before the Stalker, or is he going to try to proxy something? I don't think he is. It seems like this SCV is just heading to the main base. And it's going to say, perhaps hello to this probe. I guess they will just barely miss each other.
Kev, I've been saying it for years. Reaper expand, best build in the book.
Yes, and people have been disagreeing with you for years, man. Until Hollow the Swan came out.
I was just ahead of the meta, that's all. This first Reaper does pop out. We're not going to see another one, so I guess that extra gas is...
Actually, man, you were so far behind that it went full circle. You're like the guy when you run a marathon, you know, who gets lapped 3 times. And then at every time
you don't lap somebody in a marathon. That's not how marathons work.
Well, let's say like in a how do you call it? 10K run. Around the athletic field. You get lapped a couple of times and then you pretend like you're still ahead. No bad.
It's like the guy is about to catch up to lap you that one time, and so you start running really fast because you don't want it to happen. And in your mind, you're actually winning the race, but you're actually so far behind.
Yeah. And then 15 minutes later, you're like, you know what, to hell with it. Lap me. Just don't do it again. And then like 5 minutes later, he shows up again. Like, damn it.
What the hell? How are you so fast?
These kids try way too hard to stay in shape. We got the reactor on the Rex now as well. A couple of Marines in production. While second and third Rex even. Wow. Yeah. 3 Rexes. Normally you see 2 Rex into factory. So Ryung playing this very, very safe. Perhaps afraid of some crazy gateway aggression, which I do not think he has to worry about yet.
Could also translate to some aggression. Certainly there are some all-ins that could yield some SCV pulls and the likes. Reaper is going to get chased away by this Stalker, but not before scouting that expansion and even shooting it a couple times. Mothership core crossing the map right now for Oz. He wants to see what's up.
Very quick Twilight console by Oz. I was right in the fact that I did not expect some crazy gateway aggression early on by Oz, but I am not sure what this Twilight console is going to do, Ben.
With this many Raxes, there's going to be enough Marines out that this Mothership core is going to be...
ushered out immediately.
Yeah, not even going to see anything. And the question is going to now become, does Oz say, hey, that's too many Marines? Probably not.
Is he going to research Blake, or is he going to go for Dark Templar? He doesn't really have that much gas banked up right now.
My money's on DTs.
Yes? Is it, Ben? Is it still?
No, not anymore.
But he's not researching Blink.
There's
okay.
Blink.
There we go. So I'm glad that you were wrong.
He actually drops a double robo.
Is what it's going to be for us, and of course he's just going to macro up for a little bit, trying to hide his stack, and then eventually he's going to drop a couple of gateways, trying to get as many Blink Stalkers out on the map as possible. I think in general it's quite hard to transition out of these Blink Stalker builds. It's definitely not impossible. On a certain moment you can just contain your opponent a little bit, try to pick off as many units as possible. But you have to be very careful that you don't overcommit.
The Reaper! No! Billy, who gave you a jetpack? As he does go down.
Wow, actually Oz is going Blink Stalker while going up to 3 bases at the 7-minute mark? That's such a bizarre build. He's doing this off 1 gate,
Dude, with this 3 racks opening like Ryung, what is stopping him from just walking across the map?
Well, that he doesn't know. That's what's stopping him. But man, this is bizarre. Oz is doing everything so early on. Such an economic opening. Like, there's not even a triple orbit. Well, I don't see how he's going to defend as soon as the factory is out, as soon as the medevacts are out. Even though it seems like Ryung wants to actually hit a very traditional old school 3 Rex timing ban. He's hiding the Marauders as well. He's having 2 stim left. He's actually going for some old school
stim combat shields.
Yeah, just the 3 Rex. We're not going to wait for medevacts. We're not going to wait for anything. We're just going to march across the map. And I think that's going to be fantastic.
This is almost
against the opening from Oz.
It's almost a blind build order counter. In a lot of ways, because Oz has cut so much production in favor of this fast 3 base.
Take a look at the army supply right now. We're going to see that it's 30 against 12. 2 additional gates are going down, but Oz is just never, ever, ever going to have DPS to deal with his army, and he doesn't have anything to soak up the damage either. Of course, he wants to sort of contain his opponent a little bit. And yes, Blink Stalkers can be very good men. He's dropping a Robo Bay as well. Oz is just doing everything. Yeah. And he's not expecting Ryung to move out at 8 minutes and 40 seconds, perhaps expecting it a solid 2 minutes later. But Ryung is not going to wait for medevacs, and that is the correct call, man.
Yeah, man. The problem with building everything is that when the push comes, you're not going to be able to defend anything. And this is the situation Oz finds himself in. His stalkers aren't even on the right side of the map, man.
So right now you can at least say, Oz, you sacrifice this Nexus, try to save the probes.
Well, if Ryung goes to the natural, it might just be over.
He's going to fight force fields. He's going to fight Photon Overcharge.
Going.
Stim is ready. Combat Shield is ready as well, man. Okay, so he's going to force Photon Overcharge.
There's going to be another Photon Overcharge, so I think Oz can actually hold for a while. He will lose this Nexus, no question about that.
Oz trying to buy as much time for himself as possible, wiping in as many stocks as possible. He is going to land a Photon Overcharge. He's just going to try to fight his army right now, but when it steams, it is so much DPS.
Try to make something happen. Force fields are pretty good, but Stim Marauders doing... Oh, God, this is brutal. It hurts to watch, man, as the Protoss army melts away. A couple stalkers left over. Mothership Core is going to go down. Surprisingly, though, the army of Ryung has been so thinned out, Kev. And with all these gateways being chrono boosted, he did not just hold this.
Well, Ryung's backing off for now, and first Colossus in production as well.
He took like no damage.
Photon Overcharge is just...
He's got 61 probes to 46 SCVs.
He's still going to have to worry a little bit, perhaps. Well, actually, I guess he's going to have enough time for a Colossus. No, he doesn't have to worry. Wow,
that didn't even look hard.
Well, he lost
a bunch of units, and it was certainly scary, but he didn't pull a single probe, and he just let Photon Overcharge do work, man.
Man, that's such a bizarre sort of...
I mean, if Ryung had brought a couple of medevacs, it might be different.
Well, of course, but then it would have been much later. Then Ryung has way more units, then you get a completely different game. So I really thought that the moment Ryung decided to move out was pretty good, and certainly against this build. But somehow Oz is buying enough time to get enough warp ins, land a couple of reasonable force fields. It was annoying, like, okay, Ryung, do you want to focus the Nexus? Do you want to go for the units? In the end, it was a little bit of everything, but in the end, he got nothing done.
I mean, Photon Overcharge is so strong, and it's like it's the ability that I probably underestimate the most, because you just don't realize that consistent just... It's not like a cannon that you can just kill in one burst.
I actually think it would have been better for Ryung to just stim all the way in and focus the Nexus all the way down, because there's really not that much DPS in those stalkers picking away at your army. Like, sure, you're going to lose a few units, but I think it would have been better for him to just left-click on the Nexus. But would he have been able to kill the probes? He's going to stim up this ramp right now, but this is not a fight that he can win. That's going to be a mistake,
not with 2 Colossi out, and Oz is easily going to hold once again, and suddenly...
Yeah, and it's going to be so hard for Ryung to drop as well, because Blink is done already. We can see him blinking forward right now, picking up more units.
Oz is just going to chase Ryung all the way back home, and I don't know that Ryung can really defend this counter push. He's building his first 2 Vikings right now. There are 2 Colossi out. A third is going to finish up any second now. Got to be careful not to overextend Oz, and he is. He's going to be very mindful of that. Is there a pylon to warp in anywhere? No, there isn't. Probe just now finishing one up on the far right-hand side of the map, and he will build another one. I don't think this command center has any chance of landing.
I was not sure if Thermal Lens was done, but it looks like it is being done. But it is done already as well. There are no upgrades in his army of Oz, but it is a very scary army.
Here comes the SCV pull, and if a couple of warp ins go down, there's just no hope here for Ryung. He does pick off a single Colossus. That's huge. Vikings are out, but they go down, and the Colossus has 17 hit points left. And Ryung has his back up against it, Kev. 60 supply lead for Oz, who... how in the
mostly
world?
Workers, though. It's mostly workers, but yeah, it's still super scary. There are 2 Colossus right now. There are barely any Vikings out on the map. A lot of Blink Stalkers as well. Of course, he's going to be able to micro this pretty well. Picking off those medevacs, doing that also well. Losing 1 out of 2 Colossus, but he's still doing more than fine.
Bunker going to burn down. Colossus just going to sit behind these Stalkers and do work.
More medevacs falling as well.
And another big SCV pull is going to once again slow the economy of Ryung. Colossus Gonna try to be focused, but it's not gonna matter, man. Oz makes it look